बच्चों. So today we'll start with the experiment for class 10th, and experiment is to study the properties of acids and bases. Okay, this is our experiment. So I have written certain properties and compare it with acids and bases, and then we'll discuss and we'll see the properties here on with the chemicals. So first property is what will happen when litmus solution or litmus paper has been used. So in the case of acid, we have seen that it changes blue litmus to red, but if you are having red litmus paper and you dip red litmus paper in the acid, it will not show any change. So it's only blue litmus changes to red with acid. When we move to base, we found that its red litmus changes to blue and not the blue litmus changes to red. That means it will not show any change with the blue litmus. It will only turn red litmus to blue. So let's see how. I'm having certain chemicals here. Here is a stand full of test tubes. Okay. Here I'm having certain acids, dilute HCl, dilute acetic acid. I'm having bases also, ammonium hydroxide and sodium hydroxide. Now what are the differences? This is dilute acetic acid, which is very weak acid. This is hydrochloric acid, it is a strong acid. Ammonium hydroxide, weak base. Sodium hydroxide, strong base. Okay, and this strength is based on their dissociation. Strong means which dissociates completely, whereas weak means dissociation to a limited extent. So if I am saying that I'm having this acetic acid as weak acid, it means this acetic acid dissociates in a limited extent. That means 100% dissociation is not there. Even sometimes we found only 5% acid is, or molecules have been dissociated. So these are acids and bases. I'm having this blue litmus paper. This is blue litmus. Can you see this color? Blue litmus. Then I have this red litmus strip, paper strip. Then I have taken universal indicator also. This universal indicator basically tells us about the pH, what pH actually is going on, because we are having certain colors written on this strip. Here I am having the first strip, and let me change to the next strip, and I am having some pH has been written. So pH 8, this is the color, pH 9, a little bit darker, and so on. So different pH can be observed using this strip. So we can compare, we can find even the pH also. Okay, then I am having this phenolphthalein as an indicator, that will use methyl orange is also indicator. I'm having bicarbonate, that will discuss about the properties using bicarbonates and carbonates. Then some metal. So property with metal also we'll study. So as I've told you, the first property with litmus, so I'll show you how this litmus changes its color. So I'm taking in one test tube acid. I've taken small amount of dilute HCl. Okay. And in another test tube, I'll divide this acid into half so that we can compare and find the property of acids and bases with blue litmus as well as with red litmus. So I'm taking this blue litmus and will add acid to it. Okay, and I found that this, can you see a color change? This is the change in color from blue to red. So earlier it was blue litmus, and now after adding acid to it, it changes to red. Okay, you can see here I'm putting it on the white tile so that the color can be visible so easily. Now I'm taking red litmus and add acid to it. On dipping this red litmus in the acid, we do not find any change in color. So as I told you that acid has the property only to change blue into red and will not show any change with red. So you can see that there is no change with red litmus paper. Okay. Now let's see about base. So I'm taking base in one of the test tube. I have taken sodium hydroxide, and then I'll take a strip of red litmus paper and then dip in the solution. So after dipping this red litmus, a clear change in color is observed. So it changes from red to blue. I'll place it on the tile so that you can easily see the color. This is red, changes into blue. Now I'm taking blue litmus paper and again add base to it. Adding base, there will be no change. Okay, so as I told you that acid changes blue litmus to red, but base changes red litmus to blue. Okay, so that was the first property. Now we'll move to the second indicator, that is phenolphthalein. If I take phenolphthalein, let me tell you the color of phenolphthalein is colorless. It colorless, it has no color. It just resembles like that of water, like it is colorless. So in acids it will not show any change in color. It remain colorless in acids also. But when base is added to it, it changes its color to pink. Okay, let me show you. So this is, I'm having phenolphthalein indicator. Okay, it is colorless. So I'll take small amount of acid and a drop of this phenolphthalein. I'm showing this drop, you can see it that it is colorless and it remains colorless even in acid also. So no change in acid, no change in color of phenolphthalein. Now I'll take some base in test tube. I've taken small amount of base and then add a drop of phenolphthalein to it. Once I add a drop of phenolphthalein, you can find that you can easily observe that it changes its pink color. So clear observation has been found that this base changes its pink color with phenolphthalein. Okay. Now we'll move to the third property, that is with methyl orange. So with methyl orange, in acids it changes to red and in bases it changes to yellow. Now let's see how. So this is methyl orange. The color of this methyl orange is orange. This is a dye actually, that's why we call it as orange, methyl orange also. So I'm taking some amount of acid and then add methyl orange to it. After adding small amount of methyl orange, we found that it changes to red color. You can compare the difference. Earlier it was orange, now it is red. Okay, so there is difference in color. So with acid it changes to red. Okay, now we see base. I have taken some base in a test tube and then I add a drop of this methyl orange and then I found that it changes to yellow. You can compare again, this was orange and now it changes to yellow. So acid turns methyl orange red and base turns methyl orange yellow. So this is another property. Okay. Now we'll move to some chemical properties. Till we have discussed only the change in color with the indicators. Okay. Now we'll discuss chemical properties with metal and with carbonates. Okay. So what will happen when acid react with metal? When acid react with metal, it liberates hydrogen gas. Okay, it liberates hydrogen gas. So I'll just write the formula. What will happen? I'm having any acid which react with metal. It forms salt along with the liberation of hydrogen gas. So the liberation of this hydrogen gas actually, here we'll see how it happens. So what I'll do, I'll take some small amount of acid and then I have small pieces of metal as I have shown. This is zinc metal. Okay. So I add small pieces. Now you have to observe it very clearly. So I'll put this test tube on the tile, white tile, so that you can observe some change in the gas has been observed after adding, after mixing. Can you see some bubbles comes up? Can you see the bubbles comes up so vigorously? Okay. So this is how the reaction occurs. So here the reaction takes place between zinc and acid. So this is the evolution of gas, and if we bring some burning stick or burning matchstick near the mouth of this test tube where this hydrogen gas is continuously coming out, we hear a pop sound. Okay, So this is the liberation of hydrogen gas when acid reacts with metal. Clear? So this is the reaction, and that is so vigorous. You can see that the gases comes up so vigorously, it comes out so suddenly, and even when we touch the bottom of this test tube, it becomes hot also, which means that the reaction is exothermic also. Okay, any reaction which liberates some heat is exothermic. Now I'll take some base and adding metal to the base. Again it liberates hydrogen gas. The reaction takes place in the same manner. It produces a salt and liberate hydrogen gas. So you can see the bubbles comes up, but these bubbles are so slow as compared to acid. So these bubbles, small bubbles comes up, and if we test by bringing a burning matchstick near to the mouth of the test tube, it burns with a pop sound. So since I know that I have added base and hydrogen, so I know the reaction. That's why I'm saying that this hydrogen gas has been produced. That you can test it later also by bringing burning matchstick. So you can see that small bubbles comes up. So here the reaction takes place, but as compared to acid, a little bit slower. So hydrogen gas is evolved, it liberates during this reaction in both the cases. That means when we add acid to metal or when we add base to metal. Clear? Now the last we are having is with carbonates. So when any carbonate or bicarbonates, even bicarbonates are also, carbonate means we are having an ion as CO3 minus 2. And bicarbonate means where we have an ion as HCO3 minus. So when we bring this carbonate or bicarbonate and add it with acid, it liberates CO2 gas. Add it with base, again liberates CO2 gas along with the liberation of water, and salt is also formed, both the cases. So I'll explain you, I'll show you how it happens. So I'm taking a test tube, add small amount of acid to it. I have taken acid and then I add carbonate. After adding carbonate, carbon dioxide comes up. Okay, so when I add this, we found that some gas releases so vigorously. Can you see the speed that comes up, that comes out? So this is only the CO2 that comes out. And if we collect this gas and pass it through lime water, that lime water also changes to milky. That means colorless lime water changes to white in color. That is also the confirmation for this CO2 gas. So you can see this brisk effervescence comes out. So when acid react with carbonate or bicarbonate, the same reaction will happen with bicarbonate that I'll show you. Okay. So I'm taking acid, small amount of acid I'll add, and then I take bicarbonate. Adding bicarbonate again, as it has CO2, so you can see this effervescence comes out so suddenly. We call it as brisk effervescence, and that is because of liberation of carbon dioxide. Okay, again I'm adding, you can see, so CO2 comes up, and if we collect this gas and pass it through lime water, it changes to milky. So that is how the reaction takes place between acid with carbonates or with bicarbonates. Now we'll take some base, and with base I add carbonate. Adding carbonate, sorry, I have taken a wrong test tube. Let me take base. Actually test tube has not been washed properly. I'll take another clean test tube and wash it with water properly, then I'll show it to you. Okay. So I have just taken a test tube and add water just for washing, and then add small amount of base to it. Okay, adding base along with carbonates, we found that CO2 comes up, but that CO2 comes up very slowly, and thus we cannot see the brisk effervescence. But if I see it keenly and observe it keenly, we found that some small bubbles are coming up on the top of this solution. So this is actually the carbon dioxide that comes out. So bases also react with metal as well as carbonate and liberate hydrogen gas in the case of metal and carbon dioxide gas in the case of carbonates. But in the case of bases, the reaction is a little bit slower. So acids react so vigorously and the gases comes out so suddenly. The bases react, but the reaction is comparatively slow. So this is all about the properties of acids and bases. I hope you have understood all these properties. So thank you so much.